They say nothing bad ever happens in small towns. But in Dry Creek, people don't just disappear. They fade, slowly, like they were never there. It started with one man. Then a boy. Then a family of 3. No break-ins. No signs of struggle. Just gone. And right before each one vanished, they all said the same thing. They heard knocking. From inside the walls. Dry Creek's just a dot on the map. One gas station. One school. One road in, one road out. The kind of place where everybody knows everybody. And everybody keeps quiet. Back in '97, there was a house on the edge of town. It sat empty for years. Windows boarded up. Grass dead. People crossed the street to avoid it. Locals said it was haunted. Cursed. Evil. Then a new family moved in. The Harpers. They said the stories were just talk. Old town rumors. But on their second night, their daughter started screaming. She said someone was standing at her bedroom door. But there was no one there. The Harpers said it was just a nightmare. That kids imagine things. But by the end of the week, their daughter wasn't sleeping at all. She said it came back every night. The figure at her door. Always standing. Always watching. And always right before 3 a.m. Then the knocking started. Soft at first. Like fingertips tapping inside the walls. Then louder. Faster. Closer. Mr. Harper ripped open the drywall with a crowbar. There was nothing there. No pipes. No rodents. No space to hide in. Just old wood. And a word carved deep into the beams. Mine. That night, the daughter sleepwalked out of the house. She was found in the woods. Barefoot. Staring at the sky. She kept repeating the same sentence, over and over again. He's coming through the floor. He's coming through the floor. And then she stopped speaking. For good. The Harpers packed up and left 2 days later. No warning. No goodbyes. They left the lights on, the food in the fridge, even their dog. Just gone. After that, the town tried to forget the house. But then the sheriff came forward. He said it wasn't the first time something like this had happened there. Back in 1964, a family of 4 lived there. Same house. Same room. Same stories. Voices and events. Knocking behind the bed. A child that stopped talking. And then, just like the Harpers, they vanished too. The sheriff said there was one photo left behind. It was blurry. Dark. Almost too damaged to make out. A shadow at the far end of a hallway. Barely visible. But if you looked closely, you could see it. A tall figure at the end of the hall. No face. No eyes. Just standing there. That photo is still locked in an evidence drawer. Labeled unexplained. No one talks about it anymore. Not officially. The house has stood for over 100 years. Locals call it the Bend House. Because the road bends around it like it wants nothing to do with it. But before there was a house, that land was something else. Old county records show it was once the site of a small tuberculosis hospital. Built in 1913. Burned down in 1917. 23 patients died in that fire. But only 22 bodies were found. People said they could still hear a coughing from the woods. Others swore they saw someone watching them. From the second-story window of a building that wasn't there anymore. Then in the 1940s, the land was sold. Cheap. No one wanted it. Until a man named Horace Dell bought it. Said he wanted peace and quiet. 3 months later, he was found dead in the basement. No signs of trauma. No poison. No cause of death. But his fingernails were torn off. The sheriff at the time wrote one line in his notes. Found with eyes open. Looked. Terrified. I told him not to stay there alone. After that, no one stayed long. One constant across all the stories? The knocking. Always around 3 a.m. Always 3 knocks. No more. No less. Some say it's a warning. Others say it's an invitation. I spoke to people who lived in Dry Creek their whole lives. People who don't scare easy. And they all had a story. Jared Finch, 62 years old. Retired mechanic. He says when he was a boy, he saw someone crawl out from the storm drain near the house. Said it moved like its bones were backwards. It smiled at me. But it didn't have a mouth. Mary Holden, school bus driver. She stopped picking up kids near that road. Said the last time she did, a little girl walked on board, but never got off. Then there's Kyle Booker, town electrician. Called to the house after power kept flickering. He said the breakers were fine, but something was pulling the electricity. His words, not mine, like it was feeding on it. Even the sheriff's office had incidents they don't put in the reports. One deputy said he saw someone inside the house. On the second floor. He swore it was a woman. When backup arrived, the second floor was gone. Burned out decades ago. Standing in the window. She's smiling. All these stories. Different people. Different years. But they all described the same thing. The figure. Tall. Still. Always watching. And when they try to describe its face, they all say the same thing. There wasn't one. All the stories start to sound the same after a while. Different people. Different years. Same house. Same knocks. Same shadow. But there. I kept asking myself, what is it? A ghost? Some spirit left behind? But the stories go back too far. Too many missing pieces. Some folks think it's the land. Something buried there long before the town even existed. One of the local elders told me the forest used to be a burial site. Not for people. For something else. Others think it's not a ghost at all. That it's alive. Not dead. Not human. Just waiting. Something's down there. It's moving under the floorboards. Some think the knocking is a warning. But the sheriff, the old one, he said it best. The knocks mean it's already inside. One theory I can shake is that it doesn't want the house. It wants the people who come into it. Feeds off them. Fear. Confusion. Silence. Like it waits for you to notice it. And once you do, it's too late. And it never shows up in the same way twice. Sometimes a shadow. Sometimes a voice. Sometimes a face you trust, until it's too close. Let me in. It doesn't matter what time it is. Or if the door's locked. If you hear the knocking, it's already chosen you. I thought the story was over. A mystery buried in old paper and second-hand whispers. Until last year. A group of kids, local teens, decided to livestream from the Bend house. Midnight. Halloween. They thought it was just a dare. One kid says, "Let's go inside." The stream lasted exactly 16 minutes. Then it cut to black. No sound. No signal. Just static. 3 kids ran out of that house. One didn't. When police arrived, they found the door open. Furniture turned upside down. Walls scratched with symbols. No sign of forced entry. No blood. Just a phone. Still recording. You came to me. The boy who stayed behind was found 2 days later. Sitting in the middle of the road, barefoot, covered in dust. He wasn't hurt. But he didn't speak. He just stared at whoever looked at him, like they weren't really there. He just kept blinking. Like something was watching from inside his head. Like someone realizing they may have gone too far. I visited Dry Creek myself last fall. Just to see it. The house is still there. No for sale sign. No lights. Just dust. And silence. I didn't go inside. But as I stood out front, something strange happened. My phone, brand new, lost signal. The screen went black. Then flashed. A blurry face behind the window. And for a second. Just 1 second. The flashlight turned on by itself. Pointed straight at the second floor window. Pause. There was someone there. Not moving. Not blinking. Just watching. And I swear. It looked like me. 3 families. Dozens of sightings. 1 house. Whatever's hiding in Dry Creek. It doesn't want to be found. And maybe that's the scariest part. Is it a ghost? A creature? Or something we don't even have a name for yet? What would you do if you heard knocking? And no one was outside? Would you open the door? Tell me in the comments. Have you ever experienced something you can't explain? Cue subtle background sound, soft whisper loop, almost too low to notice. If you made it this far, like and subscribe for more true horror stories. Next week, we follow a missing hiker's GPS trail that leads in circles for 6 hours and ends in the middle of a frozen lake. Last sound, a door creaks open, then slams shut.